By the age of 40, he'd carved his name, not on stone, but in wooden flame. 3 sons, 2 daughters, and a faithful wife. Curly lived hard, but he lived a full life. With hammer and saw, he built the land, every nail driven by a steady hand. Houses and barns and churches tall, he built them with sweat, and he gave it his all. Curly, oh Curly, a man made of steel, with a heart that was rough, but a love that was real. He prayed every night, taught his children the way. Curly, the legend, still lives on today. He was a father who asked for more, pushed his kids hard, but loved them sure. Knew the way to faith, knew the cost of sin. Raised them strong in the church he was anchored in. He didn't smile easy, his words were few, but when he spoke you knew they were true. The man was a storm, yet a shelter too, a carpenter's saint in the work he'd do. Curly, oh Curly, a man made of steel, with a heart that was rough, but a love that was real. He prayed every night, taught his children the way. Curly, the legend, still lives on today. Some say a man is measured by gold, others by stories the people told. But Curly's mark was in timber and stone, and the family of faith he called his own. So remember the man with the calloused hands, who built up a town with his sweat and plans. A faithful heart neath the rugged brow, the legend of Curly begins right now. Curly, oh Curly, a man made of steel, with a heart that was rough, but a love that was real. He prayed every night, taught his children the way. Curly, the legend, still lives on today. Yeah, Curly lives on today. Every morning, before the rooster would crow, Curly took his tools where the timbers grow. Calloused hands, sweat on his brow. building up tomorrow with the strength of now. With a hammer in one hand, a rosary near, he prayed as he worked so the Lord would hear. Every board set true, every nail driven fast. He was building for heaven with each strike that passed. Hammer and cross, wood and stone, faith in his heart, and a house made home. You can see his mark where the rafters rise. Hammer and cross under God's good sky. Neighbors said that man built strong, but he'd smile and say it's God all along. For every wall he raised was a prayer inside, and every door a place where his love could reside. Hammer and cross, wood and stone, faith in his heart, and a house made home. You can see his mark where the rafters rise. Hammer and cross under God's good sky. Nails through timber, nails through hands, both can build what forever stands. Curly knew it, he lived it well, that a home built on faith can't fall or fail. Now the town still stands on the work he gave, with a church he raised by the old hillside grave. And the children say when they walk those halls, they can hear Curly's hammer in the echoing walls. Hammer and cross, wood and stone, faith in his heart, and a house made home. You can see his mark where the rafters rise. Hammer and cross under God's good skies. Yeah, hammer and cross under God's good skies. 5 little faces round the table tonight, candle glow warm in the dim firelight. Some are laughing, some fighting small fights, but all 5 are pieces of my life. The eldest boy's strong, got my stubborn streak. The second son's wild, always quick to speak. He'll test every rule, he'll push every line, but that fire in his soul might serve him in time. 5 little faces, Lord, I see you there, in their eyes and their smiles and the prayers we share. They're the reason I work, they're the reason I stay. 5 little faces guide my way. My girls are bright stars in their mama's eyes, sweet as the dawn, clear as the skies. And the youngest one's laughter can scatter the rain. He climbs on my back, calls my name again. 5 little faces, Lord, I see you there, in their eyes and their smiles and the prayers we share. They're the reason I work, they're the reason I stay. 5 little faces guide my way. One day they'll be grown and they'll walk alone, but they'll carry the seeds that their mama's sown. And maybe they'll tell how their daddy tried to love them with truth and a carpenter's pride. Now I'm tired tonight, but my heart feels full, 'cause 5 little faces can soften a bull. They're my story, my faith, my fight. 5 little faces, my joy, my life. 5 little faces, Lord, I see you there, in their eyes and their smiles and the prayers we share. They're the reason I work, they're the reason I stay. 5 little faces guide my way. He climbs on my shoulders at the break of dawn. Says, Daddy, take me riding, I don't care where we're going. His little hands clutch tight, his eyes shine bright. To that little Joe boy, I'm 10 feet high tonight. We walk through the woods where the tall pines grow. He points at the deer tracks in the fresh white snow. And Daddy, you're the strongest man I've ever seen. And I smile though I'm tired at what that might mean. Little Joe boy, you're my pride, you're my joy, my wild little shadow, my little Joe boy. I'll lift you up high, I'll teach you what's true. The hero you see is just a daddy who loves you. By the river he laughs, skipping rocks in the stream. He don't know yet that life ain't always a dream, but he runs to my arms when the night gets near. Says, with you, Daddy, I've got nothing Joe boy, you're my pride, you're my joy, my wild little shadow, my little Joe boy. I'll lift you up high, I'll teach you what's true. The hero you see is just a daddy who loves you. One day you'll grow, you'll be taller than me, but I hope you'll remember these days at your knee. When the world gets heavy and the road feels long, think of your daddy and the strength in this song. Now he's sleeping so sound in his little bed, dreams of hunting deer filling his head. I kneel by his side, whisper prayers above. Lord, keep my boy safe, hold him in your love. Little Joe boy, you're my pride, you're my joy, my wild little shadow, my little Joe boy. I'll lift you up high, I'll teach you what's true. The hero you see is just a daddy who loves you. Yeah, just a daddy who loves you. When the day was long and the work was done, 5 little voices all shouting as one. Sometimes laughter, sometimes tears, and sometimes a storm that shook the years. Curly stood tall with his jaw set tight. He'd laid down the rules, wrong or right. Said this house is built on faith, not sand, and I'll raise you strong with a steady hand. Storm in the house, thunder in his tone, lightning in his eyes when the line got blown. But the rain always passed and the skies turned clear, 'cause a storm in the house meant love was near. The second boy wild, pushing hard at the seams, tried to chase trouble, tried to chase dreams. Curly's voice rolled like a freight train call, but his heart broke soft for his son through it all. Mama would pray while the roof would shake. Kids learn quick what a line not to break. But after the storm, he'd hold them close and whisper the words they needed most. Storm in the house, thunder in his tone, lightning in his eyes when the line got blown. But the rain always passed and the skies turned clear, 'cause a storm in the house meant love was near. He'd say a man don't bend like a willow tree. Stand up straight, be who you're meant to be. And though the storm might roar and fight, the sun always rose by morning light. Storm in the house, thunder in his tone, lightning in his eyes when the line got blown. But the rain always passed and the skies turned clear, down, sun's gone low, boots full of dust from the work I know. Every board I set, every nail I drive keeps my body warm, but my soul alive. Strong back, tired eyes, but I still bow my head 'neath the evening skies. I hold my children, I hold my bride, and thank the Lord He's by my side. Strong back, tired eyes, a man grows weary, but his faith don't die. I've carried the weight, I've paid the price with a strong back and tired eyes. My hands are rough, my breath is thin, my heart beats heavy, but I press back in. And 'cause the house ain't built and the fields still call, and a man don't rest when he's given his all. But when I see those 5 little heads in bed and hear their mama's prayer as the words are said, the aches all fade and my strength returns like the steady flame of a candle burns. Strong back, tired eyes, a man grows weary, but his faith don't die. I've carried the weight, I've paid the price with a strong back and tired eyes. One day this back will break, I know, and these eyes will close when it's time to go. But till that day, I'll stand and fight, building my home in God's good light. Strong back, tired eyes, a man grows weary, but his faith don't die. I've carried the weight, I've paid the price with a strong back and tired eyes. The doctor said, son, you best take it slow. You just came out of surgery, your body's worn low. But Curly just grinned with a fire in his eye, said a man don't stop till the good Lord decides. 3 days later, with his chest still sore, he grabbed his rifle, boots on the floor. Folks shook their heads, said that man's half mad, but he laughed, it's the only strength I've had. The climb, oh the climb, 20 feet high, branches swaying 'neath the cold gray sky, with stitches fresh and a prayer on his breath. Curly stared down life and he stared down death.
that tree like he'd done before, every muscle burning, every scar still sore. Perched up high with the wind in his hair, looking out at the field with a hunter's stare. Deer in the meadow, silence in the wood. He raised that rifle where the shadows stood. Said the body may break, but the spirit won't bend. I'll fight like this till the very end. The climb, oh the climb, 20 feet high, branches swaying neath a cold gray sky, with stitches fresh and a prayer on his breath. Curly stared down life and he stared down death. Some call it reckless, some call it pride, but legends are born when the strong don't hide. He showed his children what a man can be when he scaled that oak with eternity. Now the tale lives on in the whispers told of a man too stubborn, a spirit too bold. They say he hunted with heaven in sight when he climbed that tree in the dead of night. The climb, oh the climb, 20 feet high, branches swaying neath a cold gray sky, with stitches fresh and a prayer on his breath. Curly stared down life and he stared down death. Yeah. Curly stared down death. On a cold gray morning, his heart gave way. The strongest man fell in the prime of his days. 5 little faces and a woman who cried as the town bowed its head for the man who died. But the stories rose quicker than the church bells told of the man with a hammer and an iron soul. They said he built churches with his bare 2 hands and carved his faith deep in the heart of the land. The legend of Curly, they still speak his name in the hymns of the children, in the timber and frame. He lived rough, he loved hard, He worked till the end. The legend of Curly lives on through his kin. They tell of the climb after surgeon's knife, how he hunted the deer at the risk of his life. They tell of his temper, they tell of his prayer, of a man who was more than the flesh he would wear. His sons stand tall, his daughters shine, each one a branch from a faithful line. And though the grave holds his body low, the stories still walk where the children go. The legend of Curly, they still speak his name in the hymns of the children, in the timber and frame. He lived rough, he loved hard, he worked till the end. The legend of Curly lives on through his kin. A man dies once, but a story stays in the hearts of the people, in the prayers they raise. And Curly rides on in the tales retold, as strong as the oak and as true as gold. The legend of Curly, they still speak his name in the hymns of the children, in the timber and frame. He lived